In Movies and Money, Deadpool and Wolverine is a film that is shattering a box office record. Our film critic, the founder of the Movie Madness podcast, Erik Childress, is here with us now. How is that film making history?
Well, there's currently no stopping Deadpool and Wolverine at the moment, as it became the first R-rated film to surpass $400 million, and with another $97 million last weekend, it is still on pace to cross $600 million at the domestic box office, and should pass $1 billion globally this week. Now just imagine if all this money was flowing when it was supposed to open in May. We would not have been hearing so much talk about a box office drought. Then again, there are still films that spur on that conversation, like the ones released last weekend. Trap, the latest from M. Night Shyamalan that Warner Bros. Chose not to screen for critics, ended up with a 53% at Rotten Tomatoes from those that chose to review it, and just $15 million over the weekend. Night may have peaked again as audiences tire of his ridiculous plotting and nonsensical twists.
Opening this weekend, Borderlands, and it ends with us. What do you think, Erik?
Yes, Angie. Every once in a while, some best-selling book aimed at women strike gold at the box office when ultimately adapted. Now, just a couple years ago, Where the Crawdads Sing had a successful summer run, and Sony is now hoping to have that success again with It Ends With Us, based on the Colleen Hoover book. It stars Blake Lively as a woman who pushes back against the abusive relationship she ends up in. There is speculation that this could open somewhere in the $20 to $30 million range. On the other hand, there is Eli Roth's Borderlands, which by all accounts should have its own fan anticipation given that it's based on one of the best-selling video games of all time. Not that such game adaptations have translated to box office success, but this one arrives with very low expectations. It began filming in the middle of the pandemic in 2021, reshoots were done with another director, and on top of that, Lionsgate is now not screening this one for critics. Now, the cast includes Cate Blanchett, Jamie Lee Curtis, as well as Kevin Hart and Jack Black, I guess on loan from Jumanji, and is being advertised with needle drops like it's the next Guardians of the Galaxy.
We have one more film to get to that is opening this weekend. Here's a look at Cuckoo.
I'm police investigator Henry Lando. I'd like to ask you a few questions about the incident.
I need you to help me find that woman.
It looks like a thriller, and you are a fan. Tell us why you like this one, Erik.
Yes, the film is called Cuckoo, from writer-director Tillman Singer, and this is Neon's next contribution to the horror conversation after the major success of the low-budget Longlegs this summer. It stars Hunter Schafer from TV's Euphoria as a teenage girl who moves with her family to a resort where she encounters some strange behavior, all seeming to stem around an oddball scientist played by Dan Stevens. Now, it sounds like any number of horror films, but this one has a real off-kilter feel to it that really held my attention until it explodes into all-around insanity in its final stretches. Its weirdness may not be for everyone, but unlike Longlegs, whose appeal I do not understand in the slightest, I preferred the way this film makes you lean into its oddness and put together the pieces while delivering a sensory experience as much as a visual one. Also, if you happen to be in New York or Los Angeles this weekend, there is a brand new 4K restoration of Francis Ford Coppola's masterpiece, The Conversation, opening. It is one of the best films of the 1970s, or any decade really, and the version I got to screen is a welcome upgrade for its 50th anniversary. That is one you will definitely want to see on the big screen if you can.
Sometimes it's so good to see films big to get that real impact. Thank you, Erik.
Thank you, Angie.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.